Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of TVG Talk. My name is Paco Treviño and as always, today I'm joined by Lauro Chapa.
Hey guys.
And today we'll be talking about our first impressions on the upcoming BlazBlue cross-tag battle. For those of you that didn't know, this past weekend we had an open beta where we could experience most of the characters that will be coming to the game, especially on disc or on cartridge characters, alongside the online features and a few other customization options. We'll be going through the gameplay, the servers, the visuals, etc. First off, Lauro, to begin, did you like the game?
Oh yes, I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Yeah, we were talking about the game, we even managed to catch a few matches throughout the weekend and you talked very positively about it.
Yeah.
I guess that the most important thing would be the gameplay, so what exactly did you like about the gameplay?
Well, the gameplay to me seemed pretty smooth. There's always a learning curve with fighting games, and there's always this rhythm that each fighting game has for their gameplay, and what I felt with this is that everything came very naturally, like combos and extensions, assists, superpowers, and changing characters and whatnot. Everything was pretty smooth and well thought.
Yeah, I think that this is one of the games that I've ever played that has managed the tag system the best, where you can go back and forth between changing characters or assisting the other characters. It's very, very intuitive in that regard. I think that it has to do with the fact that there's two different buttons, one to change and one to assist.
Yeah.
So maybe that was one of the things that makes it so good.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the controls. Now, I would compare the control scheme to something like Marvel vs. Capcom, where you have mainly 3 buttons of attacks, and you have some assist special buttons or functions and whatnot. I would say that it's very, very difficult to master the game, to understand all the things that it has.
Sure.
But the control scheme itself, I found it to be quite simple. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I would agree with that. I agree that it has very little amount of buttons you have. I think there are 5. It's your 3 attacks, then your assist, then your change. But there are a lot of combinations that you can do to do different stuff. Like I think that every 2-button combination does something. So you have like, well, not every right? Because I think A and D does nothing, but a lot of the others do something, like A and B or C and D, C and P. D and P. I forgot. But there's like 6 or 7 different combinations of the buttons you can do, and they do like drastically different stuff. I found myself mapping the triggers to some of those combinations because I didn't want to learn every combination that the game has.
While I feel that those combinations are on the side of the gameplay rather than the control scheme, where I said that the gameplay and the game itself is hard to kind of get your grips on, I think that a bit of a difference might be that I was playing with an arcade stick and you were playing with a pad. I don't know if maybe the gameplay doesn't translate as well to the pad. I don't know, did you feel that might have been it?
Well, first off, I think that the game was made really with the pad in mind, because all the pictures they showed you of how to click the buttons, they were arranged in a pad-like form, even to putting the shoulder button on the top.
I understand that that's the case with most games today, where the HUD and everything is made for the standard controller, because chances are that's the controller you're playing with. And there's really no way of knowing if you're using... for the game, there's no way of knowing if you're using a pad or a stick.
Right.
But, I don't know, I felt very intuitive to just, lay my hand on the arcade stick, have my 4 fingers with the A through D, and then the partner button would be my thumb, and I felt that was pretty comfortable. I don't know, maybe that has to do with it, but I think that it's pretty well laid out. But yeah, like there's some combinations and some stuff there that makes it a little bit difficult to jump right into it, I'd say.
Right.
To get it out of the way, did you have any previous experience with BlazBlue?
I have never played BlazBlue. In fact, the only Arc System Works game I have played is Dragon Ball Fighters, and I played that for the first time like a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I'm pretty new to the Arc System games.
As for me, I had played before only one BlazBlue game, and it's really an unconventional one. It's the 3DS game BlazBlue Central Fiction, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I understand that version is not very definitive for fans because, you know, the Vita version was better, so there was a better alternative there in terms of portable experience. But in a way, I'm playing the spiritual successor to that in the Switch version of Cross Tag Battle. And, you know, being portable and everything, I have to say that there are a lot of things that are the same, but and they helped me to kind of jump into the game. But at the same time, there were a lot of new things, especially with the guests. They have very different and unique mechanics that, even if you're coming from a BlazBlue game, they are very different. In some ways, it's like a spin-off of BlazBlue. It's not really BlazBlue with guests.
Right.
I don't know if I'm bringing that point across well.
Right, because this is not a BlazBlue. This is something completely different. It's like saying Marvel vs. Capcom is Street Fighter, and they're completely different.
Well, they're not completely different. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that is different in terms of like new characters and everything, and some mechanics work differently, and there's a tag system. But I don't know if I would say that it's like that case. I'd say that it's closer to BlazBlue. I don't know, because if I said Street Fighter Cross Tekken, then that game is too similar to Street Fighter. So, I don't know, somewhere in between I'd say is where Cross Tag Battle is. I mean, granted, I haven't played Persona Arena, so I don't know how it compares to that. So, I mean, have you played Persona Arena?
No, I have not played BlazBlue or Persona Arena or Under Nights or even seen Ruby.
I've watched some of Ruby because I have some very passionate friends, and they kind of made me watch it for a while there. Maybe I will check it out. I mean, I've honestly never been too interested until now to watch Ruby. So maybe the characters in the game are playing their part, as they say.
Right.
So why don't we talk about the visuals? What did you think about the visuals of the game?
Well, I really like them. It's your typical anime, over the top, really colorful, lots of animation and figures and colors and whatnot. But I could see someone thinking it's like too overwhelming or maybe even distracting for them. So if you're not like kind of used to the anime art style and visuals, I think that this will not be for you.
I agree with you that it can be overwhelming. It's very colorful. I really like the way it looks. It's probably one of my favorite 2D sprite art. I really like how it looked on the 3DS, even with limited resolution and more notorious pixels, I guess. But here, I think that it's more realized, the art style that they were going for. To my understanding, the engine, it's actually rendering 3D images in 2D, something like that. Makes it look 2D, but they were made in 3D. I think that there's something in there about that online, but overall, I really like the way it looks. I do agree that it's a little bit overwhelming, but honestly, once you get down grips with it, I think that it's quite a cool experience. I mean, there's really chaotic games that people play just fine, like maybe Dragon Ball Fighters or Marvel vs. Capcom, or, you know, Tatsunoko, or all of those crazy fighting games. How did you... I know that you don't know a lot about Persona, maybe, but I don't know, did you like how they translated the 3D models into the 2D sprites?
They look really good to me, but I really don't have a point of comparison. I do know that they made they reuse some sprites or something like this for some characters, and they made new ones for the Ruby characters, I think.
Yeah, the Ruby characters, well, the whole series is with 3D models, so yeah, they had to either take them from somewhere else or make them new altogether. Kind of reminiscent, I guess, to the way that old fighting games used to work, you know, where they would reuse sprites if they were the right resolution.
Right.
I guess that we can go to the next topic, which would be online play. What was the experience that you had with the online play of this game?
The experience with the online play of this game was really great. I mean, I know that Arc System Works likes this system of lobbies, and at first I thought, like, why would they need to do that for the whole game? But having played already Dragon Ball FighterZ in this game, I really like how it works and how you just jump into a lobby and find either your friends or some random guy you wanna play, and you play like best of threes, and if you wanna play again, you just stay there and play right away again. The online is like super solid. I've heard before that Arc System Works had one of the best onlines for fighting games, and I experienced it with Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I thought, well, maybe it's just this game, and it can be for every game, but I'm experiencing it again, so I think that what they're saying is true.
Yeah, I didn't know about that stereotype or that concept until you told me. And you told me just because I said, hey, this is probably one of the best onlines I've ever experienced in an online game. And you told me, well, Arc Systems is famous for this. And I'm like, well, it's earned. It's one of the best online games I've ever played. I did have the occasional hiccup when it came to the lobbies, which, by the way, are a very fun way to play, you know, to find players. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was surprised about the customization. I thought that it would have customization, but I didn't think that it would have it for the beta. It was pretty cool. I had the occasional hiccup where, for whatever reason, the game would just freeze. It never happened during a match. It only happened in the lobby. So I don't know if it's because it's less polished there, because it's beta, all of that stuff. But I would like to point it out, just because it's, you know, transparency.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me in the lobby. It would sometimes like slow down, even like when it was loading the cinematics for the characters in the match, like when they speak and then their portraits load or something, it would freeze there. But once the match started, it was silky smooth, and I never had a hiccup during a match.
Oh yeah, the same happened to me, where it would stutter, especially in the very first sort of cinematic where you just see the stage.
Yeah.
It would go like, I don't know, 10 frames per second, something like that, like really slow, really sluggish. No, but I was talking about straight up having to boot up the game again because it froze on me.
Oh wow.
Like, it was on the lobby and it would freeze, and I would have to reboot the game because it just wouldn't work anymore. It only happened to me a couple times. It happened to me on Sunday, actually. About 3 times, I'd say.
Right.
I mean, no big deal, but now, what do you think about the cast of characters that we had to play with? I mean, for starters, I was surprised that there were a lot of them.
Yeah. As I mentioned, I haven't played or watched any of the 4 franchises, but I saw a lot of variety. I could see what the sort of gimmick or thing of each franchise was, and even so within the franchises, I would see like so many different like play styles and characters and designs. So I think that it's a really good roster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw the data mine that they did. I think it was this morning. We're recording this on Monday.
Yeah.
So it was this morning that there was a data mine. And I think that only like 2 new characters were in that data mine, so...
Yeah, I thought that all the characters were already like revealed, but I thought wrong, I guess.
Yeah, I always forget, like, oh yeah, there's more coming, there's more coming. The same happened to me with SNK Heroine. It's like, oh yeah, we don't know all the characters, and I'm reminded of that every time a new character trailer comes out. But it's pretty cool, it's pretty hyped to know, like, oh, that character looks cool, or something like that. Anyway, do you have anything else that you would like to mention about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle?
No, I just had a really cool experience and I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, me neither. I'm honestly very, very excited for this game. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Well, I guess that's it for this particular discussion. Well, thank you so much for listening, you guys. This has been Paco Treviño, and today, as always, I was joined by Lauro Chapa.
Thanks for listening, guys.
And if you'd like to stay posted for more conversations like this, we do them every week. We upload 2 or 3 episodes. So make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube for more content like this. And follow us on our social media. We'll be posting stuff there too. Until next time, bye bye guys.